Now, if you've got a high-end listing, you'll want to turn around and really create the whole experience, including smell. So you're looking for offensive smells, and that can be Glade plugins and those kinds of plugins that actually, because some people are allergic to those things and it causes a problem. So you'd want to have fresh. One of the old tricks that's been in the industry forever is the vanilla on the burner routine, or open vanilla, or fresh baking. Right, anything with harsh cleaning smells is probably not going to go over well. So you may have to, if the client's had the complete overhaul done in the house, you may have to open up and air it out.
I do have a freeze in my trunk though.
Oh yeah,
Yep.
I do have it in the car.
Yeah, the what's the one that you spray on that takes the smell out? Febreze, yeah, very good to have. Yeah, if you're going to bring snacks or something, make sure they're aromatic.
Oh, that's a great idea.
Right? So not uncommon to take in, if you have somebody that that does fresh baking, you get them to freshly bake it and have it available so they can smell it.
Like that old school cookie trick?
Yes, it's an old school trick, but it works. Yes. Well, it's the psychology of buying actually is very around the experience of all our senses. So it's sensory input makes a huge difference for a lot of people. And smell will stick with people because it immediately triggers. So if you can, that smell of fresh cooked, meals and fresh cooked bread tends to remind us of home and of wonderful things. Like think about Christmas time or holiday time when you're with family. Like what depending on what tradition but there's smells that apply to that. And if you're trying to attract a certain culture, there's going to be different smells, of course, right? And so that's important to know. And of course, you want to increase unless you're specifically going for a cultural experience, you're going to want to turn around and make sure that you have it as generic as possible. Same with colors in the home, but you're not going to be able to change it when you're doing an open house. Okay? So those are really important to know that smells, sight, lights on, and if you're working with the listing person, you're listing the house yourself, and you're talking to the seller, get them to put in little extra light bulbs. Okay, so instead of going with just 60s and not having the light, they may want to go to 100s and actually just retro that whole house when you're doing, trying to make it, especially in rooms that are underlit, right?
I went to one of those on the weekend.
It makes a huge difference on how people feel in that room. If you want the room to feel dark and cozy, different than, like for instance, a theater room, you'd want that dark and cozy with the spotlight coming down. You wouldn't want it bright in there. But a kitchen needs to be bright. And so if they've got one chandelier in the middle that's just, inappropriate, you can talk to your seller and say, that's not supplying sufficient light here. We may want to boost that a little bit.